I'm 19. No, 20. Wow. I'm 20.
And what are you doing now these days?
I'm going to college over in Annapolis, Maryland, going to St. John's College, and I'm back for the summer right now, so working.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Do you remember when you first started playing music, or rather first started playing fiddle?
First started playing fiddle, man, how old were we? Probably like 9-ish or so, 10?
What do you have any early memories of what that was like for you?
Playing fiddle?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we had played piano before that, mostly like classical piano. But one thing that I really specifically remember was that fiddle was much more fun than piano ever was. Playing piano was I was always practicing by myself, and then every now and then I'd have a recital, but it wasn't very fun. And when I was playing fiddle, I quickly started playing a lot with other kids, or I'd play with my brother and we would arrange new tunes, or I'd also started playing with my dad and my brother a lot, and he'd play guitar. So we'd spend a lot of time arranging new tunes and sort of putting a performance aspect on it that made it much more fun for me. We would hear pop songs or rock songs or whatever it was. Maybe it was the Beatles, maybe it was the Police, or, whatever it was. But, we would just learn the melodies that were often not too terribly complicated. And we'd become good enough at learning by ear that we could pick it up fairly quickly. And that was fun. And that's kind of a different kind of power to have, to be able to, learn songs or tunes that you think sound cool but aren't necessarily written down on sheet music somewhere.
What would you say were kind of like the primary obstacles for you?
I don't remember there being a lot of obstacles, or at least anything that was such a big thing that I wanted to stop playing over it. There were difficult new things to learn, maybe say, learning how to use vibrato well or something like that. There were always technical skills to learn, but I feel like it was always toward some end of something that I wanted to do enough that I just kind of learned it, and then it became a new fun thing that I was able to do. And I think I started doing a lot of the things that I continue to do now, as a player, that, early on, it's just that I got slowly better at them, so performing or arranging with friends or with my family or whatever were things that I continue to get better at, and there were new skills that I needed to learn, but I don't remember there being any particular things that were so difficult that I got, didn't want to play anymore over.
There was a lot of discussion along the way of, the idea of how the violin would make the transition from sort of life during lessons to life after lessons. The fiddle seems still relevant in your life?
It definitely is, and I do still play fiddle. As a matter of fact, the fiddle that I have right now happens to be in Annapolis, where I go to college on the other side of the country, because I wasn't able to, bring it back. At the time, I didn't have enough room. But I do still play a fair bit. Play a little bit less fiddle now because I'm not playing with a lot of other people over there, which is too bad. But I've also been playing a lot of other instruments as well, and I think that the same basic things that I learned on fiddle carried over. I've been playing a lot more guitar lately, but the same idea, the sort of confidence that you can learn how to do this and, just simply get a couple things under your belt and start playing more, and the confidence to be able to step in and play with other people. If the jazz band asked me, hey, we need a fiddler or whatever to learn this tune, can you play this? Sure. Learn it kind of quickly and then I'm ready to go. And I think that the confidence of playing in front of people and playing with other friends and all of those skills carry over to a lot of other things in your life, not even just musical.
It's kind of this period where you hit, I think you were probably about 15 or so, when all of a sudden there was, I think you were kind of trying to figure out, how does this quite fit into my social life? And then you went to camp, then you went to Sierra. And that seemed to be kind of like, it changed some of the meaning for you, I think, of it.
That was a big thing. Going to Sierra Fiddle Camp for the first time definitely changed my playing, changed my outlook. And I would say it didn't fundamentally change it, but it changed sort of the scale of it, in the sense that all of a sudden I'd gone somewhere, been hanging out with friends, but I was there by myself, for a week. And it was so much fun. I enjoyed that camp so much, and being able to play the tunes with those people and jam whenever a jam, happened to pop up, and then, ultimately do their final performance there and everything like that. Like, that helped me understand the broader scale of the music scene, specifically the folk music scene, and being able to play with all the other people who are celebrities, at least within the niche of folk music. A lot of those people were there and were teaching tunes, and I think that helped me kind of broaden the horizons of the entire culture that surrounds that, and how really fun it can be to perform with other people.
I want to fast forward ahead now. So, let's say you've got a family, you've got kids. How will music play a role, do you think, in your own family as you're older?
I want my kids to play music for sure, if/when I have them. Absolutely. Yeah. And I'd like them to learn and do a lot of the same kinds of things that I did. Specifically, that I did with you, that I did teaching at your camps with younger kids, or going to Sierra Fiddle Camp. I mean, all of those things were really big steps for me, just socially and culturally, and seeing, how much fun and what a connection music can be for people, just as a social activity. And I think there's a million different skills that you learn from playing music, and they're really valuable. And I can't see any future world in which I don't want my kids to be playing music in the same kinds of ways that I was as a kid.